crafters, welcome back to my channel, Margaret Knob Designs, and today I have a tutorial for you, or the first of 2 or 3 tutorials, and I wanted to let you know that this is starting out with a tutorial, and the last video will be a walkthrough of our finished product. There is a lot of this that I do on camera, but there will be some things that I will also do off camera just because it saves a little bit of time, and it's not always necessary for you to watch me put down a piece of pattern paper. The reason for the tutorial first is I wanted to be able to have you get started on this and for Valentine's Day, if that's what you're making this for a gift. This is using the Music Box Country Craft Creations collection. It is exclusive to their collections, and it is a design team project for Country Craft Creations. So I just wanted to start out by welcoming you. Thank you for staying and watching through everything. Like I said, there will be 2 or 3 other videos after this one. They'll be going up probably like midweek and then towards the end of the week again, somewhere in there, in a couple of days. So let's get into the first part of the tutorial. Thank you. Hi crafters. Well, welcome back to my channel, Margaret Knob Designs, and to my messy craft table. I don't think I can ever become a clean crafter. I'm hoping for it. It doesn't seem like the bigger the table I get, the better I do, but let's just go ahead and get started on this tutorial. So starting out is I'm going to be using the page styles that I made in the Country Craft Creations New Year's Eve hop. I showed you how to make 3 different page add-ins or drop-ins, and the 4th or the 3rd one is right here. And with this album, I'm hoping to show you another design that I have seen from, I think it's Crazy Paper. She is an international YouTuber, and honestly, she does an amazing job when it comes to different page designs. So please go and check out her channel. So what we're going to do is we're going to get started on this album. We're going to be using this this paper collection from Country Craft Creations, and this album I made is 8.5 by 8.5, and the spine size I believe is 2 inches. I can't remember. Yep, 2 inches. And to show you how to make this album, I have a video that is down in the description to show you how to make any type of album going forward. I'd rather not go through that every single time. It just makes it go a little bit quicker for you. So, and then the pages inside the album, I have 4 pages that I've done with a hidden hinge design, and each of these 4 pages is 8.5 by 8.5. So sometimes they might be a little bit bigger than what I do sometimes, but that's my page size for this album. And one of the things that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go ahead and I am going to double mat my covers, as well as double matting the inside of my covers. So the first mat is going to be, this is 8 3/8 by 8 3/8. And that'll be the same on the inside of my cover, will be 8 3/8 by 8 3/8. And I will double mat the back of my cover as well as the back cover here. So I'm going to add those in, and then we're going to get started on adding some other areas within this album. So I'm going to go ahead and get this matted and get this going, and should be seamless to you, but I'll be back in just probably in just a second or 2. Thanks. Hi, so we're getting back here, and what I've done so far is I've put this page design on the front page of our album, and this pulls out like that. I'm going to be adding photo mats in there but this is how we will be starting out. And again, the page design for this is in the YouTube hop for Country Craft Creations for New Year's Eve. And so going on to the cover of our album, what we are going to be doing is I double matted the covers in the front and the back and all the way the back here. And the next couple things that we're going to be adding to this mini album is on this page I have cut the pattern paper to go on this page. It was cut at 8 1/4 by 7. And what I'm trying to do as I go along here is trying to save any of my cutoffs or anything that I'm doing to be able to use on the next pages as I go. So just leave a little bit of a border on there. I'm a little bit off. You're going to see that I am a little bit off on my cover. One of the spots that I'll show you is right here, but I think I can correct that by, or make it not quite so evident by using my pocket that I'm going to be putting down over on this page. So on the front cover, I wanted to make this so that this was not too bulky. So I'm going to be putting a pocket down here, and I either will be putting flaps in here, or I may even put another kind of little booklet on here. I've got to wait and see. I want to go through and do the main pages, and then I'm going to go back and do add-ons to my pages. So this is a pocket that I've cut out of, again, cut it out of scraps. So in some cases, these are going to be measured at 3 3/8 and 3 7/8 because these are cutoffs, and I want to use my scraps as much as possible. Yes, it would be easier if I went 3 1/2 or 4 inches, but I think it makes much more sense to use my cutoffs wherever I can. So this pocket with the flaps underneath measures 8 3/8 by 3 3/8. But you need to cut a page that is 9 3/8 by 3 7/8. So you have a 1/2 inch here, a 1/2 inch here, and for my pocket as well. And then turning this over, I mitered the corners on all of these flaps, and I will I'm going to just attach this so that the bottom flap is on top of the side flap. So that we have an easier way for the bottom of the flap to stay, for us to easier to put our tags in the pocket. And then we're going to go ahead and we are going to put this pocket down onto here. I want to make sure that I cover the black and that I come in here a little bit to the side, but I'm going to push to this side of my album as much as possible so that I'm not in the edge of my page, and that it helps to close the page of the book a little bit better. You're going to find that the majority of what I use in my album is art glitter glue. It's my favorite adhesive, and from all the research that I have done for my paper crafting over the years, I have read many articles saying that glue actually will last longer in our mini albums than tape. Tape can dry out over the years, where glue bonds with the fibers of the paper, and that's where it stays stuck a lot longer. But that's what I read. I don't know if that's the truth or not. I've never made an album and let it and see if it lasted 50 years. I'm not sure. So then this is a cutoff from this piece of paper, and it is cut at 8 1/4 by 3 1/4, and actually I didn't even have to cut anything off of it because it's the same length as this sheet. So it actually is one of my cutoffs as well. And I will be putting that down onto this pocket. You will see that throughout this album I'm going to be interchanging my craft cardstock with my black cardstock. All different patterns on there. And like I said, I may be putting just tags in here or booklets in here, but my thought is to put kind of a booklet on this pocket for a photo opportunity, and then to also put some tags in there. But as I said, we're going to see that as we go along. Now if we've got this page already done and inserted, and I'm coming over to this spread, and what I wanted to do was to utilize this page. It's got a beautiful rose on it, and I am going to make this more of a flat or simple page because I'm going to be using this add-in that we made in that YouTube hop, and it's going to go over to this side. And I will be putting a photo mat on this page right here just to be able to see this beautiful rose and the music. Also making sure that my writing is going the right way. I'm going to also use this piece, and I'm turning it this way to be using the back. I'm actually using the back of this sheet. Again, this was a cutoff from this paper, and I'm going to be able to utilize it along here. I'm going to be putting this down here, and this is going to go onto here, and I'm going to put maybe one photo mat, maybe an opportunity for journaling, not sure yet. So let me get this put in. Also, be careful with your art glitter glue. It may look like I'm putting a lot on here. Maybe it doesn't, but I want you to know that you don't need a ton of the art glitter glue. It will hold with small amounts, and it will do very well. If your pages curl, and if you have a problem with it, it's telling you that you're putting too much glue on. And reduce the amount that you're putting on your papers because it will hold. I think it's important to get your glue around the edges so that they stay down and hold well, but you don't need to oversaturate your pages. All right, so then our next item is this little booklet, and I'm also going to get some ribbon, and I'm going to use that for underneath this. Oh, and I forgot to grab it out. I'm so sorry. Let me see if I have some over here. I have this jar of leftover ribbons. Well, that won't work. Let's see. Do I want a light pink? Do I want a deep color? Let's see. I know that's not really the color in there, but that's a pretty dark tone. And so I'm just wondering if I go the red, it would be too much. And I think this works better with my burgundy tones right there. So I think I'm going to go with this burgundy. This is kind of my cutoffs or my one-offs when it comes to ribbons. And that's why they look a little bit of a mess. What I'm going to do with this is I'm actually going to put this ribbon so that it ties across horizontally rather than vertical. And so let's just see how much we have here. That's enough. And all this ribbon is from Country Craft Creations. I've either bought it myself or it was a part of a design team project. I think that's going to work just fine. A little bigger and I think we'll be good. So now this is the one area that I like to put my ribbon down with tape. I prefer to do that because I can then have it hold with the glue also on the back, but I do like to start with tape because I feel that it gives it a little bit of a quicker tie to it. So I put it onto the back of my ribbon and I'm going to take that off there, and this is centered, and we're going to go ahead and put the rest of this down with our glue. Sorry about that, I have to kind of turn this a little bit so I can get a good look at where I'm centering or moving this at. Got a little bit of glue coming out of here. And there we've got our page down with our tie. That'll come up like that. When that comes down, then we don't need to have a magnet in here, but we can have this, I like these ribbons because it's what I would call kind of a low volume ribbon. It doesn't have a lot of body to it, so it doesn't make the pages too thick, but it gives us a nice way to tie our pages down. So there we go with that. And then I am going to take and center this piece of the pattern paper so that we have a little bit of room from here to here. And then again, I'm going to be putting, I may put 2 mats on here. I may put a mat for a picture and then some journaling down here. We'll kind of see how we go as with the book. One of the things that is really nice is that if you are looking at your albums and you want to possibly move your album design along, one of the good things to do is to go ahead and do your page drop-ins or add-ins ahead of time and just use the paper collection that you're going to be using, or make them ahead of time and then cover them with the paper as you go. So here we go, we've got this done, and I will come back and put some patterned paper down the spine so it won't look quite so bare. And once we add some other items in here, again, the mats, and I may be decorating some things on the front of this right here. I may even look to do some round pieces or something on the ends of these ribbons so that they don't fray. But that'll be when we come back. I want to get my pages done and collections finished before we move any further than that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get my items ready for these next pages, and I'll see you in just a couple minutes. Thanks for joining with me so far. Hey crafters, well, this is where we ended the last time, and I started to look at the different things that I wanted to add on to this folio. So we've got this set. I added some fray check to the bottom of these. So if I'm going to add some little doodads to them, at least the ribbon won't fray until I'm ready to do that. But one of the things that I wanted to do was to put some mats on here. And some of you may or may not have seen this before. This is something that I'm starting to do with my scraps. And what I wanted to do was take out my scraps that I could use them for my mats. So I'm just going to pull a bunch of these out of here. I can put them back when I'm done. In that case, I just bought on Amazon, I think, for all these boxes. So this is a kind of a smaller spot. And what I wanted to do is see what my those are my, let's see, I have a 4 by different, no, the 4-inch isn't going to work. Where's my 3-inch? What did I do with it? I have those 3 by 3s. Oh, here we go. But these are all the booklets, and I don't really want to do a booklet in there. Unless, what do you guys think? I think I should do a booklet and do 2 little booklets right in here where we can lift those up. Or do we want to have, well, you know what? We probably could do that. The only thing that I want to look at or question about this is make sure, first of all, that this is folded properly. And I think I'm just a little bit off on this. Make sure and so what I think I'm going to put those down, and then what I will do is I'm either going to take some little tabs to hold those, or I will put a small magnet in there. So one or the other. So let's just get that down. And sorry if you hear the puppies behind me. It always seems like once I get on camera and talking, one I'm babysitting, actually, my daughters are female, actually. She likes to talk, period. When I get on camera, she likes to make sure that everybody knows she's there. So I'm going to put that booklet right down on here, and then I will put some, usually I would put some photo mats in here. I may or may not, just because this is getting a little bit thicker. Levy, go on. Take your bone. Sorry about that. If she gets too loud, I will turn off and... But those of you know that our pets in our lives, whether they're cats or dogs, are some of the most important to us. So I've got those put down on top of here. And we've got, again, a little booklet so we can put, I'm going to put some pattern paper on here and pattern paper on here. This booklet is 3 by 3, so cutting a piece of scrap paper would be 3 by 6 and 3 by 6, and then they're just folded in half. So then when I cut the pattern paper for this, I'll take some of my scraps and I will cut that 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. And then that'll cover that. The other thing that I wanted to look at and see if we had any mats for right here that could be used, that may be a 4 by 6 mat, and see if that would work. Right up here, or going, no, it has to, What do you guys think? I would like to do it something sideways, but I don't think that's going to work. And I truly think that this probably would look better if I did this not quite centered, but almost centered. It doesn't really cut. It leaves some here and some design up there. So that is what I'm going to do with this mat. And this mat is cut 4 by 6. Not 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, 4 by 6. I've just decided that most photos that are 4 by 6 always have a little bit of extra room on the outside, and for me it saves on paper that I'm using. If I make it 6 and 4, I get much more out of my scraps because I'm not, you know, if I cut this at 6 1/2 or 6 1/4, then I would lose that whole other piece, or the other, you know, with 4, if I cut it by 4 inches, it's 4, 4, and 4. It gets me to my 12 by 12 paper. So that's my reasoning for why I'm doing these as 4 by 6. So we have this right here. The other thing that I wanted to do on here was, let me see if I have one here. I have a booklet here. I wonder if they're all, oh good, this is what I wanted. I wanted to find a black booklet and put this booklet on this page right here with some pattern paper on it, and so we could still see the design. Oh, I want it right here. And then I'll put some pattern paper on here, and again, I would make that pattern paper 3 7/8 by 5 7/8, and I'm going to use a small magnet in here. I just need to add those to the booklet. Yeah, because if I add a ribbon, that won't really hold it. So what I'm going to do is put this down onto this pocket, and it's going to be halfway. It will cover up some that's on the front cover or on this paper, but then behind it we can still tuck tags or other booklets in behind it. So I'm going to cut that and cover it off screen. Same thing with these. I'm going to cut those and cover them off screen because I'll show you when I'm done with them. But the other thing that I want to do is I always like to do my covers first, and I really didn't do that this time. So I don't like to put all the flowers and everything on it, but I do like to pick out my pattern paper. So what I did with this pattern paper is this is the bottom part of the paper, and then this was part of the side, another piece of scrap that I just put onto the back. You can see that it's a little bit different right here. And I pieced them together, and I'm going to put a ribbon across here, and it's going to sit on the front cover like this. And then I'm going to add a small bow. I may wait to add that bow till I get my flowers, and I'm putting the flowers on the front. I will put the ribbon on right away so that we can get that down. And before I put that on, I'm going to take my ribbon and I will get that ready to go across there. All right. And this ribbon that I have, I got it at Country Craft Creations. You can buy the ribbon by the yard or a couple yards, however you like to purchase your ribbon. I guess I should have let that come over just a little bit more. I'm gonna use some glue, I think. Bring that over. It'll hold just fine once we get this paper down on the cover too. And art glitter glue works very, very well for holding ribbon down. I don't have to use Fabri-Tac for that. You know, if I was putting the ribbon down on the front, I wouldn't use art glitter glue for that, because you could, I know it would dry clear, but you can still see through it. So let's get this down onto our front cover. Part of the reason why I took this this pattern paper and did it this way, where I split it in half, is because there's a lot in this paper pack that has some larger designs on it, and so I wanted to take advantage of being able to see the designs, but still make it look appropriate for the size of my album. So that's going to go on the front cover. I probably will do florals, maybe up through here, maybe into here a little, or maybe just around here. Not really sure, but I do have some florals that I'm going to be using from Country Craft Creations, and those are, let me see if I can grab them real quick. Yes. Oh, they are by Prima. They are by Prima, and I'm going to be using these flowers on top, and they are called Farm Sweet Farm. So they're item number 658328 that I got at Country Craft Creations. So, all right. So we've got this cover essentially done. I'm going to have to mat this as well. I'm going to mat that with black and then with pattern paper, and then I will get pattern paper on the back. This I'm going to wait on, and this I'm waiting on until I get through more of this booklet. So we've got that there. We've got this page in, and I'm going to leave this page plain, and I'm leaving this open for a photo on here. I'm going to put some pattern paper on here, as well as, well, not on here, but on the front of these, and then I'll leave these plain for photos in there. And I will put possibly some magnets, or I might even take and put another type of flap. I can maybe, I've got some cut aparts that I could maybe even do like a tuck on these little flaps. I may do that. And then going over to this next page, I started working on this next page. I added in a piece of paper here. Our pages, as you know, are 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. So I cut this pattern piece of paper to 8 1/8 by 8 1/8, and I put it on the top of this. And this page, I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but this page, what I did is I actually made this a flat page. So on this page, you can see that I put onto here, I cut to make this 8 1/4 by 9 and, oops, let me look at my, eight and a quarter, and then the other one, so it's 8 1/4 by 8 1/4 is one piece of paper. The next piece was 8 1/4 by 8 3/4, and then we're scoring on the edge by 1/2 inch to make a hinge to put those two pieces of paper together to make a booklet. And then I took another piece of paper or two pieces, and I cut them by 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. I did about 3 or 4 prototypes of this page before I really got it correct. So if I have time, I will do it at the end of this video, but I'm going to try to do it in another video just so that there's time to take a look at it. But so this was a booklet, and I just glued this page onto my page in the album. So it makes this a little bit thicker, and then this goes down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to decorate this with either photo mats or pattern paper, and or there may be photo mats and pattern paper in here. I've got to go through it and make a decision on how I want to do that. So we have an opportunity to put 6 smaller photos on here, and then we could put photos down the side here, but I'm just going to run pattern paper down the side here, in here, and here. And so my pattern paper, probably, this is 3.5 inches away, so it'd probably be 3 3/8 by 8 1/8. And I believe it would be the same on both sides. Yes, 3 3/8 by 8 1/8. So I will go and cover those. But again, I saw this page done by Crazy Paper. I don't know what country she's from. She is from a foreign country. It is written in centimeters. It is not written in inches. And I tried to change it over to inches, and you can see that I didn't, this one I put in backwards, so it didn't work very well. And then I did this one, and I put it together, but you can see this didn't line up well. I didn't mat it properly or something. Not really sure what I did wrong. So what I want to do is make sure that when I show you the tutorial on how to do this page, that I'm showing you the best way so you can be successful at it. I've seen other people do this page as well, but the original person that I saw doing it was Crazy Paper, and she has all kinds of flips and flaps in her mini album. She really does an amazing job. So I will come back and do a tutorial on this. Or if you'd like to watch her tutorial, you can, but again, it's in centimeters, not in inches. I will do a tutorial in inches. So then this page comes over and it closes down. So I'm going to do something onto this page. And for this page, we are going to add, this is one of the pages that we did also in for the hop, the New Year's hop, and I did a couple different types of pages. So I am going to end up putting this page right down onto here and glue that down. And I'm putting it to the outside because it didn't work well to the inside. It became too thick, and I needed to add some weight to the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down onto this page. Now, you could take this page and you could glue it just here, here, and here, and be able to put a tag down it. Personally, my album is getting full, and once I add pictures, I feel like I don't want it to be, you know, alligator mouth. So I'm just putting it flat down onto my page. And I'm not going to worry about, you know, do I have room for another tag? I have plenty of room all throughout the album for pictures, and I think this will keep the album looking a little bit less overstuffed, which I think is important. I don't like, again, I don't like my album to have an alligator mouth. All right, so then this goes down onto here, and this page will come up, and I will do something here and here, and I will get those going when I get back. We'll probably work on this page, then go on to this, and I will also, I may even work on doing something for, I don't know, I'm thinking that it may be maybe not close, but I think it's going to be okay. So what I'm going to do then is go to here and here. I probably will do a pocket on this back page just like I did on the front. This isn't a page, the album cover, so to make that a little bit better. All right, the puppies are crying, and I will let you go. I'll be back. And